What's going on? Everybody just waiting on Dphence to accept this request. Yeah.
What's good, brother?
What's going on, man? How you feeling, man?
Man, everything good. All love this way.
Yes, sir,
Had a little
man.
delay this week.
Yeah, that's all right, man. That's life, man. That's part of life, man. We definitely all understand that, man. You know, everything,
But we got,
everything, everything good for you though.
man, everything, like I said, everything blessed. I'm excited about what we're about to talk about tonight. We got some, yeah, it's going around the NBA.
Yeah,
Man, I know
yeah,
you got some great stuff to share with us.
yeah,
Um, so I'm ready to get this thing started, man.
yeah. So let's jump right into it, man. Thank you, man, and thank everybody else for chiming in, man. Uh, so like you said, everything's going in the NBA, man. The players are divided, man. Not everybody on the same page about restarting on January, man. As we know, Adam Silver then put it out that for the NBA players that don't want to return or that's not going to join their team, then he said they got till next week, the 24th, to let their teams know that they're not returning. So Kyrie Irving, that's a big name. Kyrie
Yeah,
Irving,
yeah.
he believes that not only should they not start the league, he believes that they should focus on social issues. But he also believes that the NBA, that the players should start their own league, man. How you feel about that, man? And it's so much,
That,
it's so much in this right here, just right here, that we're gonna delve into, man. But we're gonna do one at a time, man. Just let's deal with Kyrie first. What you think about
all
Kyrie's
right.
statements?
Uh, all right. Before I even start our Kyrie, man, I want to state first, like us as fans, we see this on the outside looking in, and we just
Mm-hmm.
go by the information that's put out there before us.
Right,
All we can do is like kind of research and come up with our own opinion. Uh,
right.
Kyrie as a person, I don't know Kyrie as a person,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but I do have an opinion.
Right.
Um, so this go way back with me with Kyrie. Uh, Coming out of Duke, coming to Cleveland, being taken over after LeBron league, getting drafted. He was the man coming in here. Like he
Mm-hmm.
was he was given the keys to the city once he had got drafted, came in Cleveland.
Right.
So Kyrie always been on this pedestal. He was the number one pick in the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you fast forward, LeBron comes back to Cleveland. They play together with 3 seasons, well 2.5 seasons.
Yeah.
They win a championship. Uh, Kyrie going his what I would call a mini tirade, wanting to get out everything. And back then, I thought it was an attention thing. He felt like he was a caliber player who should be on the same pedestal as LeBron
Right.
during that time. And Kyrie is a talented player. So me bringing this, I wanted to go back first and just know where you coming from, where I'm coming from when I'm talking about Kyrie and the personality and the perception that I see from Kyrie.
Okay.
Um, so once he got in Boston, um, it was the same thing. It was like everybody was talking about all the other superstars, but not talking about Kyrie in Boston.
Right.
He went through whatever he was going through in life, um, and he went through what he went through in Boston. But it was still a thing to me where it was like he wanted more attention. He wanted
Mm.
more about me. He wanted more about Kyrie.
Right.
Uh, okay, so we're gonna fast forward today, and Kyrie come out, and he make a statement saying, and for part of it, I agree with Kyrie. Um, but my thing is, it's like once you hear things and like you see certain things about Kyrie, uh, it's like how real is it?
Right.
Like you see other players like LeBron,
Mm-hmm.
they've been sending this message out for a long time. So now that's set to the stage and everybody is talking about the NBA, but nobody is talking about Kyrie Irving. He come out and now he's so just into the Black Lives movement.
Right. Right.
And look, I don't want to judge him saying what he's doing is the wrong thing, but at the same time, I'm kind of suspect. It's like how genuine and how genuine where's that coming from
Right.
you?
Right.
Uh, Now, with that being said, like it's so many things to dive into. First of all, I'm just gonna get about the players coming back and playing. Uh, I can understand the concerns for COVID-19,
Mm-hmm.
getting sick, the rising cases that's going on in Florida. Definitely, I
Yeah.
understand those things.
Yeah.
But still, we're talking about a $1 billion industry with the best medical staff, the best doctors. They've been planning this out for a long time, and you have a lot of NBA players that doesn't make the money that Kyrie makes. They
Right.
don't have the
Right.
money that
Right.
LeBron make. They don't
Right.
have the money that
Right.
KD make. A lot of these players is like they dependent on this check.
Right.
Um, Now, when it comes to their own league, it sounds great, but it's so many hurdles to step over for you to do that and have so many people on board with those things. It's just
Mm-hmm.
unrealistic at this moment, especially what's going on in the world.
Okay.
Now, the
Gotcha.
reason I brought them two things up, I'm going to end it on this quote and then I'm going to let you go. My thing right now is the NBA is the biggest platform where everybody is talking about it, and this is your opportunity if you really want to show your voice and you want to talk about something. This is the players' platform that 80% of the players in the NBA are black. For them to do that, this is their time to make demands. I
Mm-hmm.
watched Stephen A. Jackson, Matt Barnes. They show Revolt, All the Smoke. And Stephen A. I mean not Stephen A. But Stephen Jackson said some real stuff. He was like, as mad as I am, and how much I agree with, I side with Kyrie Irving. But after I talked to LeBron, after I talked to Chauncey Billups, and I realized like what we can do. This is our time to get demands. Let's go and
Mm-hmm.
demand these things. And like we ain't playing. If LeBron go to the league and demand these 10 things and say, you know what, we're not coming back and play unless these things happen from whatever those demands are, and they don't play, they ride with LeBron. If you get what I'm
Right.
saying, so like
Right.
this is your chance to make your demands, and like it's so
Right.
much attention to it, and that's where I'm gonna end at because I really want to hear what you got to say about it. I mean, I'm just gonna end it right there.
Yeah. So, you touched on a lot, man. Right there. Um, as far as as far as Kyrie goes, like you said, we it's just our opinion, and I like what dude believe that I think Kyrie has with the things that he's done in the past. I think he's lost. You understand what I'm saying? So even though what he's saying might be good, his influence with his peers is gone. Just because of what he did in Cleveland with LeBron, the stunt he pulled, and the stunts that he pulled in Boston. You understand what I'm saying? I think that the players look at him now. Yeah, I respect your game, but as on a personal level, and as far as you being a leader, we can't rock that. You know what I mean? So if this was coming from somebody like Kevin Durant or somebody on that team like
Right.
that, then I think it'll be all everybody be open ears about it. But Kyrie, no, no. Just on the strength of his issues, his influence is shot, and he probably been on this Black Lives Matter thing for a long time. He just hasn't voiced it, and if he's
Right.
voiced it, then it hasn't been on a level to where we know about it.
Yeah. Why
Maybe
not? Why now?
why, yeah, why not? You know what I mean? Especially, and I find it strange that he's the vice president of the Players Association, and he voted on them coming back. You understand what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So, what has changed from you voting, from your vote, um, versus now. You know, I think right now Avery Bradley has the biggest voice, really. And I'm actually shocked on that he's speaking out. You know what I mean? Him and Kyrie has had got this players coalition, and that's probably what Kyrie needed. Probably Kyrie probably needed somebody to back him, to be the spokesman or whatnot. Somebody that's well spoken or whatever have you. And that guy is Avery Bradley. You know, you mentioned that it's a $1 billion industry, man. The NBA got money, but I always heard the term, man. All money ain't good money. You understand what I'm saying? All money is not good money. So whatever the player, if we got to divide with the players, you know, which I'm actually shocked that we have a divide with the players, really, because we got such a brotherhood with these new guys, which what we talked about last week, the brotherhood in the
Yeah.
NBA. So these type of issues, this pandemic, these social issues, it really will show you who's who. You know what I mean? A pandemic or a crisis will show you who's who, and really show you what you made of, man. So I'm just shocked that so many people are divided. You know what I mean? And I totally understand the guys that's not making money. You know what I mean? I totally understand that. But you know, as I said, all money is not good money. Are you willing to put yourself at risk? You know, just to make a few dollars. You know, because if you get sick and if you're not there, you know what, or something, a fatality or something like that, then you know you leaving your family, you know, without you. Who gonna take care of them
So,
then?
and
You know.
that's the thing. Is it COVID-19 or is it or is it the fact that Black Lives Matter?
Yeah,
What's the medium? And then what's
I
the plan?
yeah, I think it's a little of both. I think players are uh 50-50. Some guys worried about being safe, and then some guys are worried about social injustice issues. You know,
But what's the plan? What's the plan for sitting down? Like you sit down and what gets done? These play. I mean, these are some big names. These are some deep pockets. Are these players coming out talking? What's
hmm
their plan? Do they have something? Okay, so if you're not going to play, what are players going to do? How are we going to fight social injustice? Black Lives
Right,
Matter.
absolutely. I Man,
If
that's a
that's what it's
good.
about,
If that's a very good question, man. And I would like to see this plan put in place. You know what I mean? By
right?
namely somebody like Steven Jackson. Hey, man, put this plan in place, man. Because at the end of the day, you know, this started because of somebody that you knew. You understand what I'm saying? So hey,
Yeah,
if you talk to LeBron, then go to LeBron and say, hey, LeBron, this is what I believe needs to be changed. Because at first, Steven Jackson said that he's against the season restarting. He
yeah,
said that he was
he did.
against it, but then
Yeah,
he came back and changed his mind and said, you know, he's all for it. You know what I mean? If we're gonna have change, you know. And I agree, just like Steven Jackson, if LeBron said it, you know, then the NBA would be more willing to move to do certain things, you know. And like Pat Bev said, no matter what I say, you know, it's whatever LeBron say. If LeBron wanna play, we gonna play. You know what I mean?
right,
So I think it's a matter of just realizing, you know, people like LeBron realizing that type of power that he has, man, and the voice that he has to exact change. You know what I mean? If you
right.
really want to exact change in this world, man, you know, let's make something happen. You know, go to the Players
Yeah,
Association, go to CP3, go to those guys that you called. That they said that they had a conference call with LeBron, Dame Lillard, a couple other guys, Giannis, Kawhi. You know, get with those guys again and say, hey, y'all, this is what we're gonna do. This is what we're asking for. You know what I mean? And they saying that if they scrap the season, then the CBA is gonna be null and void. You know what I mean? But that still doesn't stop you from asking what you want, especially right now, where you got such a backing behind with Adam Silver. You know, if they backing you, then use that to your advantage, man. Use that to your advantage.
yeah. It's tough, man. It's a tough situation. All across the board, and just depending. I mean, not even depending, just with everything that's going on, everything pending that's going on in the world.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very tough decision on all sides. And I want to know. I really do. I hear the pros and I hear the cons from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is just it's hard for me to understand how not playing is going to help the cause.
Right.
On both sides. Just when I was reading today, they was saying something about Adam Silver made a statement that, their medical team come out when the players arrive, they supposed to be wearing this ring. It lets you know if like
Yeah.
your temperature
Yeah.
changes anything. It could detect, a sickness or something going on with you. But that's something that's like you got NBA players getting tested on. These some of the best athletes in the world, and that might
Right.
be a technology that can help out the common people like me and you,
Absolutely.
or
Absolutely.
people who need help, something like that. So that's another opportunity, like just to kind of help the COVID-19 thing. And just with like them playing right now, if the NBA starts back and playing, or when they start back and playing, the world eyes is gonna be on it because there's so much behind this. The NBA been
Mm-hmm.
out in front of this whole Black Lives Matter,
Yeah.
social injustice for years. Everybody
Yeah.
else is just catching up to it, but the
Yeah.
NBA has been very very involved, very very
Yeah.
active in it already.
Yeah.
So it's not a knock onto the NBA. It's more of the owners. Now the owners haven't came out and said anything about it, but
Right.
the owners, this is entertainment. They pockets deep. Like
Right.
they don't make money off basketball. Like
Right.
that's just they play thing. They make enough to just sustain that building, but they don't make no money off of it because they already had billions when they bought
Right.
these teams.
Right.
So it's strictly entertainment. You're not gonna hurt the owners' pockets by not playing. Like
Right.
okay, y'all don't like whatever. Like you
Right.
said, it's a collective bargaining agreement coming up. If they don't play, it gets nullified. If they do play, they still have to go through this anyway next season.
Yeah.
The agreement, so that's going to happen regardless,
Right. Right.
whether they play or not.
So,
Uh,
is this good for the NBA, man? I mean,
yes,
is
anytime, all attention, bad attention, good attention. Anytime you're talking about entertainment,
mm-hmm.
is it or is it not good for the NBA? It's definitely good for the NBA because right now that's what the world is talking about as far as the entertainment world. You're not talking about
Yes.
movies because their movies not coming out. You're not talking about a lot of TV shows. A lot of TV shows out of season.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, the entertainment to the world is the little sports that's going on right now.
Right.
Like people are
Right.
watching the Korean baseball organization on
Right.
ESPN.
Right.
Like
Right.
so,
Right. So
it's yeah,
Aaron said that we need to bring back
bro.
Mahmoud Abdul Rauf and Craig Hodges, man. You know,
He's right.
they were advocates back in the day, for the culture, man. And back then, not many guys really stood up for and advocated for, Black Lives Matters and Black rights in general. We saw that with the Last Dance, how MJ didn't stand up. He was just more so basketball. It was kind of against the,
He didn't want no parts. Mike
guys.
didn't want no parts of nothing political.
Right,
Like
right,
he didn't want that part of nothing to do with his image.
right,
He was more worried about his image and Michael Jordan,
right,
the brand, than he was about. I won't even say his community because I don't know what he done for his community, but we have never seen him come out and speak on social injustice or anything like
right,
that
right,
until recently. So
right.
you definitely on point with that.
Yeah. So I think now, man, we got so many guys that's speaking out. That something has to be done. And if we don't, or I shouldn't say we, but if they don't and use that platform now to exact change, man, we know that nothing is going to be done overnight, but we can still see things put into place to where, they will see, we will see it in our lifetime. What I mean, our kids will be able to see it and it would, work to their benefit. So if we got that platform and if you got a league like the NBA with a bunch of billionaires, millionaires, you know, pockets run deep, then you can get audience. You know what I mean? You definitely
Right,
can get audience, man. You
right,
know, even if, like Kyrie was saying, starting your own league. Now, if LeBron, now, man, listen, just think about this, man. Think about every year, all them games that they be playing, at Lifetime with all the players and stuff like that come out, man. Just think if they started their own league. You know what I mean? Just think if LeBron came out and said, "Hey man, we're gonna do our own thing." I know it's a lot of hurdles and stuff like that, but who's gonna not pay to see that? You know,
right. Yeah,
I'll pay to see
you're
it.
right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Just on
right.
the strength of them guys saying, "Hey, we doing our own thing." I'll pay. You cut
Yeah.
out the owners. Hey man, we got our own league. This is what we're gonna be playing for. We're gonna share. You know, we're gonna share these profits and do this, do that. You got to, but
So,
it's
so what
all
happened?
about planning.
So what happened with? Okay, so we speak about the new league and things like that, and I can't help but think about go back to the ABA NBA merger.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so basically, I mean we've had our league before,
Mm-hmm.
in a sense, uh, but the NBA is a giant. They wasn't nowhere near the giant globally that they are now.
Absolutely.
I think we've seen football leagues fail after fail. The XFL twice, the American Alliance of Football. We've seen that fail.
Mm-hmm.
You had I mean Vince McMahon back in who got as much money as Vince McMahon. You
Mm-hmm.
had Oliver Luck running the XFL. Um, Andrew Luck dead. So you had a savvy business guy, and it's still it folded.
Right.
Um,
Right. And I
it's
think, man, I think it folded because of this COVID stuff, man. I think that they didn't
that
want the
played a part.
I don't think they wanted the liability. I think the
Right.
XFL, I think this reboot was going strong, man. You know, with the things that they implemented, I think they was going strong. But you know, you
And
speaking to the.
then
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, and then you got to think about these TV contracts that the NBA has with CBS. I mean, not CBS, but ESPN, ABC. These are like 10, 12-year contracts that they're signed into. Um,
Yeah.
so now you got to pitch, this league got to pitch this, and then like it's so many things that I feel like that'll put the real issues on the back burner if something like that would happen when the time is right now. Like the time is like
Mm-hmm.
right now to make your demands. And like that's my whole thing with all of this. It's like, why would you put something on the back burner or not do something when you got the opportunity to really make a move right now while you got all of the momentum? It's just like the presidential race that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna become a time when Biden have his momentum, Trump is gonna have his momentum, and like whoever ride that momentum in the end is gonna end up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I think we, as us as a people, as a community, Black Lives Matter, the brown and black communities, as of right now, we have a lot of momentum behind us right now,
Mm-hmm.
and this is our chance for us to speak up not only on the NBA, but in all leagues around. I believe that the NFL is watching what the NBA players is doing.
Oh yeah,
I
for
believe
sure.
that Major League Baseball players are watching what the NBA players are doing.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a chance all across the board, and even with us as common people, for us to use our voice and demand a change.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
that's how I feel.
Absolutely. And like you said, we already had our league with the ABA, but we didn't have the talent. You know what I mean? Or the
Not the
stars
talent,
like
but the money.
the money
The money. Yeah.
like we do now. You know what I mean? People, I think if you build it, they gonna come. You know what I mean? The old axiom from Field of Dreams, man. You build it, they
Yeah.
will come. You know, and what bigger statement to make if you do start your own thing? You know what I mean? If the NBA isn't on board like they want them to be, so like you said earlier, man, is it about Black Lives Matter? Is it about that? You know what I mean? So we you have to be determined. You have to be
Right.
determined. You have to be determined, man. So um, I'm interested to see how all of this is gonna unfold, man, because you got like we said, man, you got so many people that don't agree. You know what I mean? Even people on the same team. Dwight Howard, Dwight Howard saying, "Hey man, I don't want to. I don't think it's the right time." Avery Bradley saying,
Right.
I don't think it's the right time. So, how do you reconcile those two concepts?
I
So
think Dwight. I think Dwight Howard speaking up for a different community. Um,
yeah,
but uh, but
yeah,
Dwight. I mean, it's kind of. I don't know, man. It's kind of strange, man. Like you said, the NBA said y'all got 2 weeks to make up y'all decision, or another week to make up y'all decision if you plan or
Mhm.
not. You either in or you out. They're gonna play. The season's gonna get played out.
Right, right,
LeBron on the play, like Pat Bev said. LeBron playing, everybody playing.
right. I agree.
At the
Yeah,
end of the day, but
yeah.
I'm glad we. Sis, I see you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm so glad we having these conversations, man.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you kind of getting to see like who really taking it serious, who
Mm-hmm.
really want to get involved, who really looking for a change, who really down for it, for what they believe in.
Right. Absolutely.
We'll see how this
Absolutely.
play out.
Absolutely. So man, it's also been circulated that the NBA might be headed toward a lockout of the 2021 season, man. Um, what do you think about that, man? Do you think that that's a result of us starting the season late, or ending the season late and starting it late next season? What do you think that's being contributed to?
Um, First thing I can think of is negotiation. At the end of the day, it's a business between the NBA Players Association and the NBA owners.
Mm-hmm.
And that that creates the NBA Association. Um, I think right now, uh, it's business right now. If this and this and this don't happen, this might not happen. It's gonna be up to Chris Paul. It's gonna be up to Kyrie Irving. It's going to be up to the player unions, whatever they want, whatever share. The players got a sweet deal right now. It's
Yeah.
50-50.
Right.
You know, like they got a sweet deal right now. I mean, players getting paid. I seen. I think when was it 3 years ago when the salary cap raised? It was like the salary cap raised like 12, 15%. Just ridiculous contracts was
Yeah,
going
I
out.
know it was like 2, 3 years ago. Yeah,
Okay,
two,
so
three
like
years.
it was players getting paid, like
Right.
like getting paid. So like the money is gonna be there. That's always gonna be the issue when it plays out. But right now the NBA players got it sweet. So once again, we go back to why they should play, and the demands that they should bring right now. It plays into this contract
This
negotiations for
contract,
playing next
absolutely.
season,
Hmm.
and that's another reason why I feel like they should be playing. You
I
got
told
anything?
and I,
You got anything on
and I
that?
and I man, I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that, man. I think that they need to use what's going on now, and the sacrifices that they're making, putting themselves in harm's way to negotiate the next contract. You know what I mean? It's like look at what we do. Look at what we're doing.
Right.
We believe in this so much that we're willing to put ourselves at risk, to help out with this brand, with the agenda, you know. So I think playing now and starting next season, even if even if they shorten up the season next year, even if they shorten it up just to get it back to ending the finals in June, I think that's what should be done. I think that should be negotiated. Like, hey man, this is we sat out, but we want to get back into it. But let's negotiate this season, and get everything back on track. So.
And
Um,
I think that's gonna play a part into it too. Um,
mm.
when the NBA season supposed to start for 2021?
They said around Christmas. They said
Okay,
Chris.
so
They saying Christmas because
and so
this
you got to think about that. Them players ain't gonna be. That ain't even a month off from this season ended. This they said the season should end October 16th, right?
October, sometime in October. Yeah, yeah.
So
So
that's
that'll be
roughly like a month and a half.
that's about 2 months. You talking about Christmas? That's about
If
2 months.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, if that.
So.
So that's another thing that they're gonna have to negotiate. Like, are you really gonna start back that early? Uh,
Hmm.
I know the lockout season they ended up playing with 50 something games
Yeah.
when the Spurs won it. So
Yep.
that's a blueprint to go over something like that.
Hmm.
Well, this will happen. This
Right.
it's interesting to see how it's gonna play out, man. I don't think that I don't see the NBA having a lockout. Not with people like Chris Paul, like I said, even Kyrie. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you got Chauncey Billups on that panel.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron, he's still, even though he's not part of the play, he's still part of it. His
He's
voice
still.
goes,
Yeah.
yeah,
They call
uh,
him. He's
yeah,
one of the first
exactly.
calls. He probably on speakerphone while they in the meeting. You know what I
In
mean?
overseeing it.
So right.
So I just don't see. I just don't see a holdout happening. You got to think about it. You hold out for another season. You have some teams take the Cavs for instance, who haven't played a basketball game in a year and a half,
Yeah.
and like that's something you don't want to happen.
Right.
And it's what 10 teams, no, 8 teams like that in the NBA. So you're gonna have like 8 teams that haven't played basketball in a year and a half
Right.
if you hold out for a season.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll be all bad. Be all
all
bad.
that.
Especially and then too, you got the new guys coming in. You know what I mean with the NCAA. Guys
NCAA, yeah.
that's getting drafted, and you go into another draft if you even have a draft.
We don't even have
So
another draft. So
right, right. So
so you
yeah,
invest into
man.
a player that haven't played basketball in 3 years.
Right, right.
So
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so moving on from this political stuff, man. Let's get into the meat, or I should say the chicken of the topics, man. Your top 5 point guards in the league, man. This is
oh
the debate that we always seeing, man. Whether we looking at the NBA buzz, we looking at serious NBA heads, the score, the Bleacher Report. Everybody's talking about this, man. Your top five
right,
point guards in the league. You know what I mean? And it don't have to be a definitive one. You can just
right,
give
right,
your top
right.
five. But me personally, I'm gonna get my top. I'm gonna get my top one. You know,
Okay.
but
Okay.
who
So
who
you
you
always
got?
doing that. You always doing that. I'm gonna give you my top 1 and 2. You gotta go get a whole 5.
I'm gonna give you my 5. I'm gonna give you my top 5. Absolutely, I'm gonna give you my
Okay,
top
okay, okay,
5.
okay. All
Yeah.
right. So when we first talked about this, you sent me your ideas and we kind of backtracking it, and I got to sitting down and I really got to doing my research and I got to doing my study. We come from an era where the game is so different now,
Mm-hmm.
and I know for me, I value some things from that game, from that era, that I see in some of these point guards now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's so much of a perimeter game. It's all about the switches, the matchups, switching to the matchup. Uh, it's a lot of ISO, 2-man game. You don't really
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of team basketball anymore.
Right.
And so that's something I took into consideration with this. And then I looked at where they at now, where they about to be at the next 5 years, and for like the stars that already been in the league and who already established themselves,
Okay.
I kind of put together like how had their career really been, and where do I see it going the next 2 to 3 years?
Okay.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna give you my top 5. And it was hard, man. You got to realize it's some good point guards in this league. It's
Yeah.
some really good point guards.
I agree. I
But this is
agree. It
my
was tough.
top
It was
5.
tough.
Starting at number 5, I got Trae Young as number 5.
Okay.
At number 4, I got Russell Westbrook. Number 3, Damian Lillard. Number 2, Kyrie Irving. And number 1, Steph Curry.
All
Um,
right. Who was your number
yeah,
3? Dame.
number 3
Dame
was
was
Dame. Yeah,
okay.
Dame Dollar.
Kyrie.
Yeah. Now, so
Hey.
how I got here, I had some other honorable mentions. It was hard for me to leave Chris Paul out the top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I really wanted to squeeze Kemba Walker in there.
Okay.
And then somebody who's on the up, the point guard that I really like a lot, De'Aaron Fox. A lot of people don't get to see De'Aaron play, man. That boy is nice. Him and
Mm-hmm.
Devin Booker is like two guys I can't wait for the rest of the world to get to see the play
Right.
once
Right.
they do get inside this bubble. But De'Aaron Fox, I really want to squeeze him up in there, but he'll get in there eventually. Uh, but yeah, Trae Young, man, he's a dynamic point guard right now. Right
Mm-hmm.
now, he's a superstar in the NBA right now.
Yeah.
His defense ain't there yesterday, but offensively and what he does for his team and his efficient rate, it's among the top 5. I mean, his efficient rate is up there with Hard.
Mm-hmm.
So Trae Young is a superstar right now. Russell Westbrook, he always been just a dog, man. Almost a career triple double average.
Mm-hmm.
He played harder than anybody in the league to me. He takes some ill-advised shots, but Westbrook is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say this about Westbrook, since D'Antoni have went to that small ball lineup and starting PJ Tucker at center, it done unlock Westbrook. Like Westbrook that became another player in that offense, and
Mm-hmm. I agree
it's
with
gonna be
that.
exciting to see if he hold it up. Dame Dollar, I think we still ain't seen the best of Dame.
Mm-hmm.
The past 2 playoffs, man, he's just been savage the past 2 playoffs, man.
Yeah.
And to me, he's still trending upwards. If Kyrie can ever stay healthy, man, like the greatness that he can accomplish,
Yeah.
it always been a mental thing with Kyrie. Kyrie in a battle with himself.
Yeah.
Kyrie could be as good as the greatest, or he could just be, just a good player that was in the NBA. We've
Right.
seen what he
Right.
did here in Cleveland. We've seen what he did in the 16 championship. That boy is a savage with the ball, score. He's a lot stronger than what people think. He's the real deal.
Right.
Steph Curry, it's hard for me to give Steph Curry the number 1 point guard thing coming from Cleveland. The battles that we went through, fighting them, watching them. What I thought they was arrogant at one time, it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. But hands down, Steph Curry, man. Just this past year when he came back from his injury, the Warriors was instantly must-see TV. Everybody was
Right.
going to see how was Steph Curry. Only unanimous MVP ever. It's some controversy behind that, but still, it happened. It's history. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
he won a championship without KD,
Mm-hmm.
with his splash brother Draymond Green. Uh, like he's number 1, man. I don't if I wasn't the point guard on my team today, right now, Steph Curry is my point guard.
So I got you. I got you.
Who
No,
you got?
that's respect, man. That's respect. That's a great list, man. Um, for me, gotta disagree just a slight bit. Um, I basically went off, the point guards that's playing in the league right now, and what they're doing for their team. And some might agree, some may not. But my number one person I went with. Matter of fact, yeah, I'm gonna start with number one. You started with number five. I'll start with number one. All right.
All right.
So number one, I'm going with Dame Dollar. Dame Dollar, number one for me. Just the way Dame Dollar has elevated his game from uh, from when he first came into the league as a point guard to where he is now. I'm a big proponent of, watching guys when they come into the league, whether they're working on their game or not. You know what I mean? You can
Right.
definitely tell that Dame has worked on his game. You know what I mean? He's poised. He done worked on his shot. You know what I mean? And I put him up there with one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah.
Even though Steph has a effortless release, you know what I mean? I still put Dame up there, as far as shooting, and 3-point contest, whatever. I put Dame up there with Steph. All right.
He leading the league. Quick note: he's leading the league in 3-pointers from 30 feet and beyond this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh, my number two guy right now, I got to go with Steph. Steph gets hated on a lot. I don't know if it's just a light skin thing or what. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? But Steph is a beast, man. And I think that because he is good at shooting the long ball, that every other aspect of his game goes unnoticed. You know what I mean? His decision making, his ball handling skills, his finishing at the rim. I think all of that goes unnoticed because everybody's knowing him for being a 3-point sniper, if you will. But the rest of his game goes unnoticed. You know what I mean? And it's a sad commentary because he is that good. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's proven that he's good. He's proven that he can stand toe to toe with any point guard in the league. You know what I mean? The way he was doing Chris Paul, the way he was doing Kyrie Irving, you know what I mean? And they make it look like those guys don't have any defense, you know what I mean? And vice versa, because those
Yeah.
guys are good too, and they make it seem
He
like
make it
Steph
look
Curry,
easy.
yeah, make Steph Curry look like Steph Curry don't have any defense, but they're in the NBA, they're in the league for a reason, you know.
Yeah.
My number three guy right now is LeBron. LeBron is not a true point guard, but he's playing point
Well,
guard.
what can I ask you something? Can I
Go
ask you
ahead.
something before?
Go
What?
ahead.
So it's been. I don't know. You know what? I'm gonna ask you. Go ahead. Go with your fire. I'm gonna ask you after you finish.
Okay. So I'm gonna go with LeBron as three right now. You know what I mean? Just on the strength of the way LeBron plays and what he's been doing this past season. I think LeBron should have been running the point guard position. You know, but based on what he's doing right now, his court vision, getting his team involved, and the double digit assists that he's averaging, I think he's number three on the list right now. On my list, number four, number four, CP3. All right, CP3 is an old school. He's a vet, but he's proven in OKC that he still can lead a team. You know what I mean? He's came in to OKC and he's galvanized that team. He's got those guys in playoff contention. He's playing like a true point guard, and he's showing how a true point guard is supposed to play. You know what I mean? He's picking his spots. He's finding open shooters. He's finding his big man down low. He's doing what a true point guard does.
He playing
Um,
basketball.
he playing ball, absolutely. He
Yeah.
doing what CP3 does. I think that CP3 has been slighted. He got slighted in Houston. You know what I mean? Because of the way James Harden play. I
Right.
think that if James Harden didn't play the way he played, then I think CP3 would have helped carry that team to an NBA championship. You know,
Well, if Chris Paul don't get hurt in 2015,
yeah,
we likely could have seen the Rockets and Cavs.
I
So,
agree with that. I totally agree with that.
so
I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that. Um, my number five right now is Luca. Luka Doncic. He's playing point. Luka's playing lights out, man. He's a game changer. Right now, I think he's I wouldn't say revolutionizing the game, but he's basically showing why these European guys, focus so much on the ball handling, that Euro step, certain as the fundamentals of the basketball game versus just grabbing the ball, going to the gym, and shooting 3-pointers all day. You know what I
Right.
mean? He's really showing the dynamics of if you start fundamentally young, how it's gonna elevate you as a young person to play with the big boys. So
Right.
and he's a walking triple double too. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's picking his spots. He's finding his guys. He's playing true point guard basketball. You know what I mean? I think him and CP3 are pretty much the some of the truest point guards that we have in the league. Um, but I tell you now that it was hard for me not to put Russ on the list. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of Russ's game. I might not, like his antics and stuff like that, but it's hard for me not to put Russ on this list on my top five. You know what I mean? Russ is a talented individual. I like his drive. I don't like his attitude, but I like his drive. You know what I mean? Like when he get on the court, you know what I mean? He don't care. I like
Right.
that. Other guys that I like, Devin Booker. Devin Booker,
Well,
go
he a
get a
two.
yeah. Man, yeah.
He play off the ball more than
He
he
play
play
he yeah, I agree with that. But his natural position is the
coming out of
one.
Kentucky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
his
Yeah.
that's his natural position. Um, Jamal Murray, I think
He slept on. He slept
he
on.
man Jamal Murray is probably the most underrated point guard in the league right now. You know what I mean? Because
Him and
he
Conley.
got
Him and Conley. Yeah.
yeah. I think by him having the Joker, you know, who's getting all that attention there, you know, I think Jamal Murray he's shown that he can play ball, in the Western Conference. Kyrie Irving too. Uh, never can sleep on Kyrie. Kyrie is a game changer. Probably up there with Steph with the best handle. Him and Steph with the best handles in the league. Only fought against Kyrie with me is his decision making. He get too much into that one-on-one ball. And if Kyrie had Steph mentality, you know, get your
Yeah.
teammates involved, Kyrie
Yeah.
would be the best point guard in the league right now.
Oh man.
Uh,
He nice.
yeah. One person I will say, man, that everybody's sleeping on because he hurt is John Wall, man.
Yeah.
I think we forget about John Wall because one thing I say, man, when a player gets hurt in this league, we as the fans we forget about him.
Yeah. We
We
do.
forget about him. And John Wall was a dog, and
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come back with a vengeance. So I still got to give credit where credit is due. You know.
I'm rooting for John Wall. I mean, we've been watching him. We done had some playoff rounds with him.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Brad Billy over the years. It's unfortunate the injuries he done went through, but he is someone that we really I ain't gonna say we sleeping on, but we done kind of forgot about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when he was playing, he was one of the top. He was a top 5 point guard
Yeah,
in the
top
league.
five, absolutely.
So we definitely got to see. I want to see what he look like when he come back, man.
Yeah,
We just need to see him play again.
yeah.
Let him
Just to
assert
just
himself back into that top five. Yeah.
just to remember, you know what I mean. Just to remember what he
Now,
what he was doing.
what I was gonna ask you, Aaron Lonzo Ball. I'm gonna say something about Lonzo, but what I wanted to ask you was about Ben Simmons. Ben
Okay.
Simmons is he's listed as a point guard. He's
Mm-hmm.
the 76ers starting point guard. I didn't mention Ben Simmons, or you didn't mention Ben Simmons. Um, I think Ben Simmons is a very, very effective player, and the way he dominates the game without no perimeter game at all, not even from 15 feet, it's pretty amazing. Um, but for Ben to get into that upper echelon, that first tier of basketball
Mm-hmm.
players, he got to develop some kind of perimeter game. So, how do you feel as him as being a point guard as he's listed at now, and where do you put him at or see him at where he's at in the league when it compares to other point guards that we just talking about, or just him as a
Hmm.
basketball player in general?
Um, I think like you said, Ben Simmons is a talented player. I hands down he's a talented guy. I think he's out of position. You know, as far as the point guard goes, I think he can, be more so of a point forward guy, like Scotty was, and even how LeBron was in Cleveland, bringing the ball up sometimes, but not all the time. I think that would help his game a lot more. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't really have a perimeter game. You know what I mean? And I think being a point guard, you have to be out on that perimeter. Or else
You got to hit some
you
shots.
you hurting your team. So at that three position, just his size and his length, I think he'd be more effective, getting down, 17, 15 to 17 feet, playing with his back to the basket, sometimes because he's shown what his length can do once he get down there. He's unorthodox. He's a lefty. So I think that he's playing out of position right now. So he definitely has to get to a point where he accepts that. You know what I mean? That he accepts that, hey man, I'm not a true point guard. I can handle the ball, but I don't need to. Kind of like a KD. KD can handle the ball, but
Yeah,
KD is not, he know where his bread and butter is. You know
yeah,
what I mean? So I can bring the ball up sometime, but that's not I'm out of position. You know what I mean? I'm gonna
right.
let the true point guard, a real point guard, bring the ball up. I'm gonna facilitate sometimes, facilitate the offense, then I'm gone. Handing the ball off, I'm gone. I'm set up the offense and I'm gone. I'm getting my spot. So that's my take uh on Ben.
I just wanted to mention Lonzo Ball before we move on.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Lonzo has been through a lot throughout his career. Stanley had just mentioned this. Lonzo Ball recognized. I wanted to, because I was going to say something about Lonzo anyway. Uh, Now, we watched Lonzo play like over the last 20 games,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 or 11 after the All Star break, before that coming into it. And him, once Zion jumped back on it,
Mm-hmm.
he had the boys playing at a high level, him and Brandon
Yeah.
Ingram.
Yeah.
He was facilitating, he was running the offense,
Mm-hmm.
he was picking his right spots to take shots.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you didn't see him playing. You didn't see him playing erratic like you have seen Lonzo Ball play at times.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
and the one of the biggest things that I done seen with Lonzo Ball over the last month or so when they was playing basketball is that the confidence is there now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he feel like, yeah, this is my team to run. Not that that's his team, but he feel like he's in control of running that offense now.
Absolutely.
So I see a
Absolutely.
big. I wanted to kind of see what was your thoughts on Lonzo Ball and like, can he get to that level to where he's in that discussion where he's like 7'6", 5", one of those type of point guard? Is Melo Ball kind of like he can get? Is he close to his ceiling? I guess is the question I'm trying to ask.
I don't believe he close to the ceiling at all, man. I think he still got. I think he's still growing. You know what I mean? And we've seen glimpses of him growing. I mean, just think. Look at his shot. He didn't change his shot. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? He been I don't know if he was working with Phil Handy or whoever he been working with has really changed his game. You know what I mean? And he's been playing with confidence. He's been shooting with confidence. Passing the ball with confidence. So I think that we haven't even seen the best of Lonzo Ball yet. So like I was saying, like we said, when you playing and you get a player on your team, like a Zion or whatever, and it's like, man, yeah, now I got somebody. And not saying that he wasn't playing that way with Brandon Ingram, or the guys that was there, but that guy playing at that level, boost your confidence a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
okay, man, yeah, man, we about to knock some heads off. You understand what I'm saying? And I think that's the level that they at. I think that's the level that he's at. It's like, man, I got somebody who's thinking like me. Once we get on the same page, everybody on the same page, I think that he's there, man. He's gonna be in that top tier. Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. I think he's gonna be, I say in the next 2 years, 2 3 years, you're gonna be talking about Lonzo Ball being one of the best point guards in the league. You know.
Who's the better ball? Who's gonna end up being the better ball?
I think Lonzo. I think we already see the better ball right now. LaMelo. Um, I gotta say that he's more worried about a look than anything. You know what I mean? He's more worried about image. You know, he not worried about working. You know,
He looked like a professional in Australia. I'm not. I before up until I seen him playing Australia, it looked
hmm
like a kid playing basketball. You know, he was just
right.
because he been around the game so much more than some of the other kids. You know, he was that much better. That's how he looked to me.
Yeah.
A kid playing basketball. But watching, I probably watched like 6 or 7 of those games in Australia, and he
hmm
looked like a professional, man. He was running the
hmm
offense. He was giving effort on defense.
hmm
He's still not there a defender, but he understood the game. Like he was so ahead in the passing part of the games, his teammates made him look bad because LaMelo was seeing stuff that his teammates, like just
Right.
it's that talent ain't at the NBA level. So like just some of the
Right.
players like. And like to see him at that age, at like 18, playing the way he was playing in the Australia League, I came away impressed from it. Like, okay, this kid
Right.
playing in the NBA.
Right.
But I get what you're saying though, because before up prior to that, when I seen him play, he looked like a kid playing basketball.
hmm Yeah. So we man, um, like we said, I think he's gonna go number one in the draft too. So we we'll definitely see what happens. Uh, so let's continue on with the debate, man. Matter of fact, like I said, man, let's perpetuate the debate. When I sent it to you, man,
Yeah,
LeBron, MJ, Kobe, KD, as an owner, a GM, who you starting your franchise with, man? You know, this is a big deal, man. Big to do with everybody. You know,
right.
who you starting your franchise with, man?
Um, so coming to this, it's really no wrong answer. Um, when it comes to this, and then once again, it's one of those opinionated things. It was real tough for me to even come up with this. Like, what do you go look at first to separate to what you want and starting your franchise? Do you want to start as that get your team involved?
Mm-hmm.
That guy, the great just athletic athlete, or do you want that killer mentality like an MJ or a Kobe? And then you got KD just like the silent assassin. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
like really like how do you want to go about building your team and your franchise? And when I look at it after watching the Last Dance, after watching LeBron's career, after watching Kobe's career early, as well as KD, think about how they began. They came into the league.
Mm-hmm.
Um, for LeBron was practicing with the Cavs when he was in the 10th grade.
Right.
Lucas was John Lucas. Who was it? John Lucas was
Yeah, it
our
was
head
John
coach.
Lucas. Yep.
Okay, John Lucas was our head coach, uh, and he got suspended before the season even started because
Yeah.
he was letting
Cause
LeBron come practice with the Cavs.
yeah.
So understand that LeBron was playing with NBA players when he was in the 10th grade.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so we think about MJ. MJ went through what he went through. He got cut from his basketball team 10th grade year, came back, made the team, ended up going to North Carolina, stayed 3 years, came out early, uh, went to the Bulls. He went to the playoffs every year. Coming straight into the league. Uh, we look at Kobe. Kobe comes straight out of high school, off a national championship in high school league, and Kobe struggled that first year.
Mm-hmm.
Was that the two air balls in Utah? Is that year?
Yeah, yeah. I think that was his rookie year
Okay,
or his
okay.
second year. His rookie year or his second year.
So within those 2 or 3 years, everybody seeing the talent with Kobe from the start.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody knew Kobe was gonna be like he was the closest thing that we had seen to Michael Jordan.
Right.
Um, but Kobe struggled. I'd say at least those first 2 years, Kobe struggled.
Definitely.
Uh,
Definitely.
you look at KD coming out of high school. He was the number 2 player coming out because I believe Kevin Love was the number 1 player coming out that year. But KD played a year at Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Played with DJ Augustine. They had a really nice team in Texas.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
ended up beating Kansas that year. Kansas hadn't got beaten in the Big 12, and like I don't even think they had got beaten yet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, he come in to the Seattle Supersonics. He just rejuvenated that franchise from the jump.
Yep.
It's the same that they move. I want the Supersonics back in Seattle so bad. Um, But you think about what KD Rock's getting there. He come up, he had Westbrook, he started with Harden.
Mm-hmm.
So much talent on this team just from the jump. Um, so they grew together as three before they went their
Right.
separate ways.
Right.
Uh, so with me, if I got to pick a player out of those four players to start my franchise with, it's LeBron James, and it's not close. Um, I, I'm, I'm I'm sorry. If I'm starting a franchise, that is the guy, that is the player who I want. Uh, hey, that's it, man. That's it. No love. Hey, MJ, Kobe, KD. Hey, do my boys. I love KD, man. Even though he did that B
oh,
move, but
oh man.
LeBron, man, I'm starting my franchise with
He
LeBron, and
said
it's not close to me.
he
It's
said
not
it's
close to me.
not close.
Everybody
Okay. Okay, I got you. I got you. I respect that. I respect that. So just to piggyback on what you said, we definitely saw what Mike did. You can't if I say, man, as an owner that I get Mike and I'm gonna get this many championships, or I believe that I'm gonna get this many championships with Mike, or I know LeBron is gonna be the player that I believe he's gonna be the player that he's gonna be, Kobe the player that he's gonna be, Kevin Durant the player that he's gonna be. Um, if I'm going off of impact alone in the game and just mentality, I'm going with Michael Jordan, right? Only because Mike, struck fear in the hearts of players. Um, People, I mean, you got guys calling you Black Jesus. You're doing something right.
Yeah,
On the basketball court, people calling you Black Jesus.
that
Um,
black cat.
yeah, yeah, man. So it's tough for me. I want to say that it's not close because it's definitely tough for me because I grew up on MJ. I
Yeah,
grew up on Mike. My first basketball card was Sports Illustrated Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So
I hate it, Mike.
man,
I
I
hate
grew
it,
up.
Mike.
Man, listen, man. I grew up, made sure that I watched could see most of his games, man, and that kind of helped me out in life for real. You know what I mean? Because just his attitude, it's like, man, we can be friends. If we go out to shoot pool or something like that, man, don't talk to me about personal life, man. I'm trying to eight ball you. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about your personal life after this game. You know what I'm saying? That's just you know, the type of mentality because I want to win, and I think I learned a lot of that from just watching Mike, watching his all his takes back to back, his DVDs back to back. But with all that being said, man, I got to go with LeBron James. I got to go with LeBron to start my franchise, just on the strength of his size, his athletic ability, and his ability to win. You know what I mean? Um, so it was close for me, man. That question, man, had me wrapped up tight, man. You know what I mean? To pick LeBron to start my franchise over MJ, and
Right,
like I said, just to go off of piggyback on what you said, I agree with you. When LeBron was in high school, he was playing with NBA guys, and those guys, Lucas brought LeBron in to show his guys that they wasn't playing at an elite level. It's like this guy's in high school and y'all in the
right.
NBA, and he's he's dogging y'all.
Yeah,
So LeBron he's a throwback player to me. I think one of the only guys in this league now that probably could have played back then. With his skill and stuff like that. So I would start my franchise with LeBron, and I would build from that.
yeah.
Build around him.
You got a
So.
good point. I'm gonna touch on it real quick. Um, when you just said LeBron is one of the few players that you feel like who could have played back. And I know you're talking about probably like the mid '80s through the '90s, that era,
I think
uh,
70s, 80s, and 90s.
'70s, '80s, and '90s. So and I hear a lot of Jordan fans. Like when I talk about this GOAT debate, greatest players, that like we're not already going that conversation. But when I hear about this GOAT talking this thing, I hear a lot of Jordan fans say things. It's like, oh, Jordan couldn't handle I mean, LeBron couldn't handle the physicality that they played with back there then. Shit, Jordan couldn't handle it either.
No, no,
And you know
not
what I'm
at
saying?
first. No.
Yeah, not at first. So and Jordan was like 6'6", 215, 220. You know, I think that was his playing weight. LeBron 6'8", 260.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was gonna be a beast back then. Like you said, his athletic ability, like how he could handle the ball. He played D. He could pass. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
just his knowledge of the game.
Yep.
Like he would have been great in all eras.
Right. I definitely agree with you on that, man. That he would have been solid in all areas, man. You know, I can't argue that. You know, I can't argue
Jordan would
that.
have been too. Jordan would have been
Yeah,
too.
oh, absolutely. And man, as a fan, you know, it's a shame that we can't even see that. You know, MJ
Right.
versus MJ versus LeBron. You know what I mean? We got glimpses of Kobe and LeBron, but excuse me, we got glimpses of Kobe and LeBron. I mean, Kobe and MJ, but MJ was at the tail end of his career. You know, we missed out on the Kobe LeBron final because Dwight Howard, you know, and the
Yeah.
Magic, you know, Rashard Lewis, and you know, Hedo
Mike Brown got our
Tuggaloo.
coach.
Yeah.
Mike
Oh
Brown
yeah.
got our coach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So we missed out on a great, you know, what we thought, man. We was already putting. I remember that commercial, man, where they had the LeBron and Kobe commercial, man. They
Oh
had
yeah. Like
they
they was.
man they had
They
already sealed the fate, you know. And we hadn't even played the Magic yet, you know,
right.
and so we missed out on that, man. But you know, I agree with LeBron. I'm starting my franchise with LeBron. As much as I love Mike, you know, I'm a Mike fan. Still think Mike the GOAT, but I'm gonna still start my franchise with LeBron. You know,
I feel
that's
like
just.
I feel like I also feel like KD's story is far from undone.
Oh yeah,
If we
oh
can
yeah.
get if KD come back and he's playing to the level where he was playing before, I mean, watch out, man. KD and Kyrie, they got the ability. The Brooklyn Nets got the ability to put together a team where they could make
Hmm.
go on a dynasty. I'm talking about like the next two or three.
Right,
Uh, KD is that good. Kyrie is that
right,
caliber of a player.
right.
So I feel like KD is unwritten. Before injury, I feel like he was the second best player in the league.
Hmm.
Uh, and I still feel like through injury, he's still a top five player in the league right now.
Right, right,
So I
right.
want to give a
So,
lot of props to KD and
so,
Kobe too,
so.
man.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Kobe is right there, man. All due respect to his game and the player that he was, man. You can't take nothing from him. Can't take nothing from Kobe. You know his determination, his will to win. You know his attitude, man. You know that's is second, third to none. You know.
Let me ask you this: when you hear like I know you got kids, you got younger kids, you got son playing football. I know I got nephews, I got cousins and things like that. And like now since Kobe passed, and like me and you, we've watched his whole career since him coming up in high school. And like
Hmm.
when you hear things about Kobe, like what do you cherish hearing about Kobe now? Like was it the mentality that you hear from like other players? Is it the stories you hear about just how he was just so like when he wanted to learn something, he was just so focused. Like
Yeah.
what kind of stories? Like what are the things that you hear? You come by, you get asked. Are the things that you kind of cherish about Kobe
The
Bryant
things
right now?
that things that man things that and one thing same thing I try to tell my boys, is like because I'm the same way, I put in work, you know what I mean, and that's one thing that I cherish about Kobe and the stories that I hear about Kobe is the time that he spent in the film room and the time that he spent in the gym, you know what I mean, because nothing beats hard work. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody can be more talented than you, but if you outwork them, you know what I mean? I tell my boy all the time, if you outwork them, then it's going to show. You understand what I'm saying? Tell the guys that against the ropes, hey man, if you out jab a guy, you know what I'm saying? If you out jab him, guess what? That jab is no going to negate speed. It don't matter if he got to reach. It don't matter if he
Right.
faster than you. If you out
Yeah.
jab him, you stick that jab out there. You practice this jab. A jab negates speed. You understand what I'm
Okay,
saying?
speed.
So
Yeah.
so
It's an equalizer. It's just
Is
like
a
running
is
the spread
yeah.
offense
So
to
it's
yeah.
a if you put in that work, man. If you put in the work, you know what I'm saying. If you watching film and stuff like that, watch all the people that came before you. Look at what they do. You know what I mean. Look at how like I tell my son like watch the tapes of Carmelo Anthony. You know what I mean. I believe was a throwback player. How he played with his back against the basket and also can
Yeah.
play on the perimeter. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Watch Kobe Bryant. Watch these guys who
Those are
put
guys.
in.
No,
Go
I just
ahead.
wanted to say real quick. Those are guys that in the NBA game today they still play on the elbow, and there's not a
Yeah,
lot of players that still play on the
that's
elbow
still playing
and
the
can
elbow. Absolutely,
can dominate the game from right there.
absolutely,
He was one of those players. But go
absolutely.
ahead.
And I say that I say, man, you got to put in that work. You know what I mean? If you want to be great, you have to work, and that's what I tell him. That's what I love about Kobe. Kobe went to the gym. He put in. He didn't shoot 3,000 shots. He didn't leave the gym until he made 3,000 shots. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
that's
it's a
that's
difference.
hard work. That's a difference. You understand
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And I try to put that into my boys, man. You got to. This is the work that you got to do. Kobe. I'm like, man, he was up at 4 in the morning. You know what I mean? Next guy working up at 7. Kobe going back to the gym at 8. You understand what I'm
right,
saying? For his second workout. And
right,
you understand what I'm saying? So you going two
right.
times a day. Kobe was going 3. You know what I mean? So when you sleep, and I love the story that him and Tracy McGrady told when they was with Rachel Nichols about how
Mm-hmm.
Kobe asked Tracy McGrady what he was doing, or it was Allen Iverson or somebody. I think it was Kobe. I think it was not Kobe, but Tracy McGrady. But he asked Tracy McGrady what he was doing, and he said he
Uh-huh.
going back to the hotel room, and Kobe was already in the gym. So he went
Right.
down to the gym. Kobe was in there working out. You know what I'm saying? After Kobe then told him, "Hey man, I'm going back to the room." But Kobe was
Yeah,
down there
yeah, yeah,
working out. It's just that
yeah.
mental advantage that you got over the opponent, man. I'm
Right.
outworking you. You know what I'm saying? You might want to be more talented than me, but you're not gonna outwork me. You might.
And that's the
I
and that's the edge. That's the edge you always know that you can have.
yeah,
That's a personal battle that you know you can
yeah,
always win if you already know that in your head that I'm gonna outwork my opponent.
yeah. I'm gonna
Uh,
outwork you. I'm gonna outrun you. I'm a hustle for the rebound more. But those are stories that I love to hear about Kobe or any athlete. You know what I mean? For that matter, you know what I mean? Just they
right.
drive to be the best. That's what I love, man. You know.
Absolutely, absolutely, man. That's good stuff. That's really good stuff. Uh, I asked you that question. So I got my boys. I got younger boys. So I got a 5-year-old and I got a 2-year-old. But my
Hmm.
5-year-old is so into what I'm into. So when it's with football, and so I find myself sometimes he asks me questions about say if I'm like watching sports or something like that. He was going on, and like me, I talk to him like I'm talking to you right now, and I'll be like, yeah, they play football, man, defense in the cover two, and he like, what's the cover two? And I get to telling him, and like he's at the point now, he come back and he be like, oh, he'll recognize something, like it's certain things he can
Hmm.
recognize from like football or like me playing the man game and stuff
Right.
like that,
Right.
and
That's
he be
what's
like,
up.
run that one, he
Right.
call he see the play action pass on there. He see the PA with the play action. He'll
Right.
call it paw pass. Do
Right.
the
I
paw
got you.
pass.
I
Do the paw
got you.
pass.
I got you.
So, so yeah, it's good to hear that information from you, because you got a son in high school who probably asked you about Kobe, asked you
Hmm.
about his career and things like that, and
Yeah.
how you go about in those things that you share with Kobe.
Yeah,
That
man.
was some great stuff right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, man, that's it, man. I think that's gonna wrap up our show for this week, man. We're gonna be back next week with more on Tuesday. We was a day late for personal matters, man, but everybody that chimed in, Jeffrey, Aaron, Keisha, definitely always appreciate y'all for chiming in. Appreciate y'all support. Um, we like we say, man, we got some big things going, man. So continue to support us, and we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, just going off what he said, just want to thank everybody who tuned in tonight. everybody who's gonna watch it later on. Keep sending us ideas. Keep telling us what you think about it. We're gonna be right back at it next Monday, Monday night with with our football version, and then Tuesday
Mm-hmm.
we'll be back in the NBA page doing the NBA thing. We're gonna dive into this plan, this season, and
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna get a little bit into the schedule of the games that they plan. So you don't want to miss that. You don't want to miss the football on Monday night. Things are heating up, and like I said, see you next week.
All right. Y'all take it
All
easy.
right, bro.
Salute you, brother. Appreciate you. All right.
Salute.
Yes, sir.